This is it. This is the 1 out of 10. This was one place that I really wanted to eat at. This was the best dining experience I've ever had at a Disney park.
Welcome to the Enchanted Ears podcast,
where we discuss anything and everything Disney.
I'm Angela.
And I'm Joe, and on today's episode, we are talking about Disneyland food.
Girl.
All food. So our recent trip to Disneyland.
We had kind of an early dinner. I feel like after this episode, I'm going to be hungry again.
You're going to be hungry again? Maybe. But yeah, we were recently at Disneyland, and we ate at a bunch of new places for us.
Yes.
Some places we've been to before, but a lot of like new places. And we said, we're going to try to eat at a variety of different places, and let's rate all of this food.
Yes.
And so we're basically going to talk about it.
And it was great. We had help too.
We did.
So it wasn't just us. We were with
our friends,
our two friends, Jennifer and Keifer.
Yep.
And then also at a point, their friend Danny also was with us. So we got not just our food palette like recommendations, we got other people and their recommendations too, which was good.
Yeah. So a variety of food. And the nice thing is too, Jennifer and Keifer, they eat plant-based.
Yeah.
So if you're somebody who's like vegetarian, interested in plant-based.
Vegan. Yeah,
this is going to be great for you because they tried all of those options. So you're going to hear like what's good, what's not good. I will say we also had one place that I didn't eat there, but the rest of the group did, and unanimously gave it a 1 out of 10. So like you want to stay tuned for that and find out where you don't want to eat. So talking through like the best places to eat, because I will say while there was that 1 out of 10, we also had probably the best dining experience we've ever had. At Disney
by
parks
far
as well.
Any Disney park anywhere around the world that we've been, it was amazing. Now, if any of the listeners are members of Club 33 and you would like to invite us there so that we could have an even better dining experience,
That's true.
Contact us, get a hold of us, because we would love to join you.
Yeah, that was one place we did not try.
Yes,
trip,
we did not try that.
because we did not know the secret code.
We did not. We wanted to.
I imagine there's just like a secret code to know.
Yeah, it's like a word, like rosebud.
Something like that, exactly. But before we get into that, let's cover the Disney news of the week as we always do. So Disney announced Epcot is going to be a new wedding venue, part of the Disney wedding. So it looks beautiful. It's the new kind of world celebration area that they recently opened, which looks great at night. You have Spaceship Earth as your backdrop. But you can now get married there. They kind of have a picture with like all the seats lined up there, which would be a great place at night. I don't know that I want to do this during the day, like before park opens, but after at night with Spaceship Earth, just looks absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I think that this would be a really cool place. I mean, I don't know. I'm eyeing stuff up for our 20th already.
Oh, like a vow renewal.
Yeah, like I actually legitimately want to get remarried, get a wedding gown, all that jazz.
At Disney though?
I mean, listen, I have no idea. I might want to select a location too, like a oh my goodness, what am I trying to say?
Like a destination.
Yeah, destination.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about Disney, like again, this looks gorgeous. They do a lot of these where you can do like the land, like Pandora, I think is another one that you can get married in there. It's so expensive though.
You know where I want to get married?
Where?
Mickey's Wheel of Death.
No, I don't think they have.
That is
I don't think they have weddings at. I don't know if they do it at Disneyland that much.
All I want, actually, you know what? We could just hook this up ourselves. We board with somebody who is a certified minister, and they marry us as we are sliding down and screaming, and you can scream, "I do!" and all that. I think it would be great.
I wonder if anybody has done that, like gotten married on that.
I don't know, but I think it's a great idea. Yeah. I want to do it.
Yeah. But what I was getting at is like these venues, it's very expensive. And especially like if you want to do one of these lands, because you only get like a couple hours. You have to do it like really late at night or really early in the morning because it's not when the park's open. So you're paying thousands and thousands of dollars, and a lot of them are like 20 people. Like it's not even like you can have a lot of people there. So I mean, obviously Disney's expensive. Disney weddings are going to be expensive, but like if you want to do it in the parks, it's like you and 10 people. It's like $20,000. Like it's just something crazy. And then you have the people that spend hundreds of thousands that like rent out all of Magic Kingdom. Now that would be pretty cool. You rent out Magic Kingdom, but again, you're paying a couple $100,000 for that.
I was gonna say we may be able to get 10 people, possibly, maybe. I mean, it's not bad for us. I don't know. We don't have huge families.
I'm just saying I don't know that it's worth it.
That would come.
I don't know that it's worth it for the price you pay and only an hour or two for the amount of money. Yes, it's a nice backdrop, but it's like that doesn't get you like anything on top of that. So, and then Disney had their earnings release this past week, and a couple like kind of surprise announcements. One is that they are making Moana 2, and it's coming out Thanksgiving of this year. It's a full-length movie, and I immediately was like, wait, like where did this come from? Like they haven't been working on it. Like they haven't announced that they've been working on it. Now what this apparently is the Moana series that was going to be on Disney Plus. They just decided to turn that into a feature-length movie instead of being a series, which I think is a positive in and of itself, because I think that shows Disney's commitment back to theatrical releases and getting, you know, Disney animation and, you know, potentially Pixar in the future off of like these limited series back into the theaters.
Does it show that, or does it show that they realize that if they put that kind of high production cost stuff on Disney Plus, that it's basically sinking their money? They can make some of it back if they put it in a
I mean, I think they probably, that's the other thing, that they probably saw the series was good and they figured this is going to do well in theaters. And I think there is, you know, somewhat to be said about they need a turnaround kind of public perception. The past couple of Thanksgivings, the movies have not performed well, and kind of Thanksgiving is a big time for Disney animated movies. So you're going to have this. I believe they announced Zootopia 2 is coming out next Thanksgiving.
It's Zootopia 2, and then I think in 2026 or 2020, I don't know. Then after that, it's Frozen 3. And I think Toy Story 57 or whatever they're on is like, so I don't know when the next time we're going to get an original Disney animated film.
The originals don't do well. I'm fine with all of these sequels.
I'm not.
Moana
I understand.
2, Zootopia. I think it's going to be great, but I think it'll help change. Like, I think what will be interesting is this Thanksgiving, this will come out. I think this will do well. I think you'll have Zootopia 2 do well. I think you'll have Frozen do well. And I think all of a sudden the story of Disney not doing well anymore will immediately turn of like, Disney is king of the box office again, and all of their movies are great. Like, I think some of it is just like they have to turn public perception.
I do have the Frozen 2 hope where, you know, everyone loved Frozen. I was like, it's a pretty good movie. And then I went to see Frozen 2, which I was like, this doesn't need to exist. And I loved it so much more. One of my coworkers today said to me, I'm sorry, but I love Frozen 2 way more than Frozen 1. And I was like, me too, girl. So I get it. Like maybe Moana 1 was just trash compared to what Moana 2 is. I don't even know. I love Moana 1, so maybe they'll do something even crazier with it.
I just hope this means that they are no longer making the live action Moana, because that made no sense, and I don't think we need that. So hopefully, because everybody said it when that came out, like, just make Moana 2. So hopefully Moana 2 is taking place in the live action Moana.
I did have the question though for 1 second there, like, are they just doing Moana 2 as a live action? But it wasn't. It was animated.
Yeah. And then the other thing they announced is that they are going to be investing $1.5 billion into Epic Games, which is the maker of Fortnite. So this is Disney's foray back into video games. It's interesting. I feel like every few years Disney invests in a video game maker, and they have big plans to make video games. Their games come out, they don't do well, and then they sell the company and get out of video games. So this is very cyclical. They're getting back into this. The idea here is they're going to make an entire kind of like Disney universe, and they're going to expand the use of all of the characters in Fortnite.
I was going to say, this is within Fortnite.
Well, yeah, I think some characters have already been in Fortnite before, but like they talked about, they're going to expand the use of Marvel and Star Wars and all of these other characters. And they had some footage of like this whole, you know, like different islands in Fortnite, it looked like, that are all Disney. So it's going to be like this expanded universe in this. So maybe this is the one time Disney finally like catches on to gaming here, because they do have like a very like storied history with trying it fails, trying it fails. This is a pretty big investment. So overall, the earnings was really good. Like, Disney seems to be doing well. The parks are making record money. It's the biggest first quarter the parks have ever had. Overall, Disney's doing well. So it seems, again, maybe the tide's turning on this whole thing of like Disney's done. And I think, you know, maybe Bob Iger, you know, his turnaround is kind of starting to take hold here.
It makes me sad that they're doing well after the closing of like the Star Cruiser and stuff like that. Like,
that was never going to move the needle one way or the other anyways.
I'm just saying, I just worry that this is just their confirmation that taking risks is a bad thing, and that they should just stick to what they do well and stick to the known things. Like that's my big fear with the company, is they become stagnant and they just play to whatever will make money and what the investors want.
Yeah, I mean, they did talk again about, you know, $60 billion in future investment across all the parks and the cruise ships and stuff. So, I mean, they are still talking like they have big plans for expansion and things going forward. But I think to a certain extent, they had to kind of like stop the bleeding, and they got to do the tried and true just to get things working again, and then they can jump off. Because if you look at it, they did the Star Cruise, they've done some of this other stuff. That was after a decade of extreme success in the movies were making money. Like every year, Disney was number one at the box office. I think they did $10 billion one year, which was like the most anybody's ever done. It was the theme parks doing well. They had built Shanghai, they were expanding, and it allowed them to take risks. And I think now they kind of have to pull back, build that foundation again. I think maybe in another 5-10 years, you'll see some more of those risks come back. All right, so let's jump into our main topic here, going through all the places we ate at, all the food we ate, and our ratings. So let's start with Splitsville, because that was the first place we ate at. So I had the steak and fries, which was $42. I'll try to give the prices for all these and like a little bit of a description. According to the Disney website, it says it's an 8-ounce American Wagyu sirloin. On the menu, it called it a filet. It said nothing about Wagyu. So I have no idea what it actually was.
I feel like if it was Wagyu, they would have said Wagyu.
Yeah, so I think it's
That's
actually,
a buzzword.
I think it's a filet, but it comes with shoestring fries and broccoli, which is interesting because they have two types of fries there, because Keifer got the Impossible Burger, which was $24, and that came with crinkle fries.
Yeah.
So we got to see kind of two different fry options. And then Jennifer had the tofu and pineapple tacos, which were $21. That's marinated tofu, pineapple salsa, chipotle mayo, cilantro, pickled red onion, served with rice and beans on the side.
Yeah, and I had the spicy vegetable bowl, which was broccoli, kale, and crisp mixed veggies that are stir-fried in kimchi tataki sauce and topped with avocado and green onions over rice. And I liked my meal. I was a little nervous about the kimchi because it's not something that I typically eat. So I was nervous, but I thought it was really tasty. I enjoyed it. I brought it back to the hotel and didn't end up eating it, but it was good enough that I was like, I'm going to take this back with me because I would like to revisit it.
Yeah, that was our first night too. We're like, hey, you might want food later or something.
Well, I thought I might even eat it before one of the races.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'll take it back.
Yeah, I think Splitsville overall, I think was very well received across all four of us. I think what I liked about it, so it's in the downtown Disney area. If you're not, if you're wondering where it is, they have a Splitsville in Walt Disney World as well. So you can bowl there. We didn't bowl. We just went to eat. But they had like live music playing. We went at night. It was really nice. I mean, it's a nice atmosphere. And I think for me, a lot of the places that are higher ranked have like a really cool vibe. Like there's a couple places we ate at where I felt like the vibe elevated the overall
dining
experience.
Yeah, I will say for me, just because I think that, I have a minor hearing issue that's undiagnosed, that once the music started, I didn't quite enjoy the meal as much because it makes it hard for me to focus on two things at once. So when the music was loud, and we were pretty close to the stage,
close, yeah.
I was like really trying hard to focus on conversation. It wasn't as easy for me to follow after that person started to sing. But the food itself was, I thought, really good. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed eating on the patio. I think that, did they have heaters on?
They did have
there?
heaters because
it was
colder at night. I will say the steak, it was a very big piece of steak. It was very tender, like really well done. I enjoyed it. Sometimes
I feel like I tried it and I thought it was good too.
Yeah, like sometimes steak, like if it's overcooked or something, it can be a little bit tough. But it was not overcooked at all. Very tender, very nice.
And our friend Keifer said that the Impossible Burger was better than Burger King's.
Yeah, that was.
They said that they rated that really high. So if you're,
yeah,
I didn't realize
like
when I,
burgers,
when I ate, when I was a vegetarian, I didn't really realize that Burger King had that good.
Well, I don't think they did back then.
Yeah,
they have the Impossible Whopper now. So
right.
But that was kind of like the threshold for any.
Yeah,
like,
he was like, these
food.
are good, and this is better than that. They really enjoyed the crinkle fries as well. I loved your shoestring fries. I'm a big fan of shoestring fries.
I got so many French fries. Mm-hmm. Like the plate was basically, because you got broccoli too, but the plate was basically 60% French fries.
There's
I feel
a lot.
Like it was a crazy amount of French fries, but they were really good. So I gave it a 7 out of 10 overall. Keifer had a 7.5. Jennifer was at a 6, and Angela, you were at a 7 as well. So overall, pretty highly rated. Jennifer's issue, I think why it wasn't higher is they were a little bit spicy. Yeah. And I don't think it was more spicy than she liked. And it really necessarily wasn't like advertised as a spicy thing.
Well, whenever you see
more spicy,
pineapple,
yeah,
you think that the flavor profile is going to be sweet. So I can understand that because, I like spice, but I would not expect something like I did not order that because I didn't want something that was sweet.
Right.
So.
All right. And then moving on to Jolly Holiday. So this is a quick service restaurant in Disneyland. It is themed, and I'm going to put that in air quotes, to Mary Poppins, because when you walk in, there's not a lot of space. There's not a lot of theming going on there. But this was one place that I really wanted to eat at because I've heard a lot of people talk about Jolly Holiday. It's a very highly rated quick service restaurant. A lot of people say, like, you got to eat here. You really want to go here. We've not had a chance to try it yet. So I told everybody I want to go at some point to Jolly Holiday. I actually ate there twice. I ended up going back. So I ended up eating.
You got two different things.
I got two different things. So I got to kind of experience more of the menu, but I definitely wanted to try there. And I will say it did not disappoint.
I had the Jolly Holiday combo. Keifer had that as well, which is a grilled cheese and tomato basil soup. And both of us rated it at a 6 out of 10, not because the grilled cheese wasn't good. For me, it was probably more of a 5. I think I was pretty generous with a lot of these ratings because mine was not warm. It took us a long time to get our food.
Well, I think that was because of me, because I got...
You got something else.
Yeah, I got like a special... I didn't want like the sauce on it, so I think they made mine special, which kind of delayed yours. I will say, though, this is like what they're known for, this combo of the grilled cheese and soup.
And we both said the same thing. Like, the grilled cheese was good. Mine, like I said, the cheese was not really molten anymore. It was like warmish.
Yeah.
But we said that the soup did not stand on its own. Like, it was delicious with the grilled cheese, but once we were done with the grilled cheese and we still had soup left, we tried it and it was just like eating marinara sauce.
But my point on this is what they're known for. This is what they sell. And standing there watching them,
they pump them out like crazy.
This is all anybody is ordering are these grilled cheeses and soups. You look, and it's like a plate of 3 of them, a plate of 4 of them, a plate of 2 of them, a plate of 4 of them. That's all they do. And what was mind-blowing was we checked a couple times because we were trying to mobile order initially. We checked a couple times, and it was a 2-hour wait on mobile order. And all they're doing, like, they have the grilled cheeses made, and that's all anybody's ordering, and it's still 2-hour window. So we ended up waiting in line. I think the line was maybe like 20-30 minutes. It's not that bad. So if you're on mobile order and you see it's 2 hours, just go wait in line. Because again, they get through people pretty quick because everybody always orders the same thing.
And as long as
your
husband doesn't, order some sort of special thing that makes your grilled cheese sit out, it's
so
probably pretty enjoyable.
So I got the roast beef and cheddar sandwich on a hoagie roll. I did not want the sauce on it. I think I forget exactly what it was. I don't know if it's like a mayonnaise or mustard sauce or whatever.
Oh, I don't blame you there.
I didn't want that. So because of that, they had to like make it fresh and special, which then kind of delayed you getting your sandwich as well. But I thought mine was really good. So mine was $11. I will say the Jolly Holiday combo was $14, just to kind of cover that. But it was really good. And I don't know, maybe because they did make it fresh, it was fresher, but the bread was super fresh and good in terms of like a hoagie roll for a sandwich. I thought the roast beef and the cheddar was really good. I got mine with potato chips, which were decent. Like, they weren't like the best potato chips. They probably need a little bit more salt on them, I would say.
But they had like salt packets that you could
you could add to it. But I thought it was great. Like, I think in terms of a quick service, the roast beef sandwich was one of the best quick service items I've probably ever had at a Disney park. Like, just the bread, the way how fresh it was. So I rated it an 8 out of 10. I did go back later when you guys ate somewhere else. I got a grilled cheese from there because I was like, let me go back there.
So what did you got fries instead of the tomato soup, right?
No, I got chips. They have chips. Yeah, they have chips as an option. So I did get the grilled cheese. I'm with you. I don't think the grilled cheese is as good as the roast beef. Like, the roast beef sandwich was great. They also have a turkey sandwich, which I'm sure is probably really good as well. But the grilled cheese was okay. I kind of feel like it maybe suffers a little bit because they are just pumping them out so quickly. So I think I would definitely go back and eat here again. but I wouldn't get the grilled cheese. I would get the roast beef sandwich.
And then our friend Jennifer ordered the cranberry pecan salad. It was mixed greens, spiced pecans, feta, tomatoes, dried cranberries, strawberry vinaigrette, and a fresh breadstick. So she said that the breadstick was very dry.
Yeah, she rated that a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, and she wasn't really a huge fan of the salad. I thought it looked good.
Yeah. I will say it was only $10. I feel like that's a good deal. I feel like my sandwich at 11 was a pretty good deal too. Again, for a Disney park. We also tried a couple.
The $14 for the grilled cheese with tomato soup is like, what?
Yeah, it's a little bit much. We also tried a couple of the desserts. So
my gosh, yeah.
They had a chocolate mousse brownie, which I think was like a special brownie. And if you listen to the show, like we've talked before, like I've kind of sworn off these like special event things. Now this wasn't one that was like an Instagram one. So I was like, all right, this seems okay.
Seems legit.
Let me try this out.
Actually taste good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. It was probably one of the best like limited edition things that I tried. I also feel like what they have there, because it's like a bakery, is like they just kind of rotate stuff out. So it's maybe not necessarily like, again, it's not they make it for Instagram. They switched it out. But then you had the cherry vanilla macaron, and how was that?
I thought it was good. Like, it was huge. I ended up giving some to Keifer, but I thought it was tasty. I enjoyed it. I liked the parts where the cherry, because it was like almost like a filling, and then like I guess the it wasn't like the filling was cherry flavored. It was like, I think that was maybe the filling was vanilla flavored, and there was some like jelly sort of stuff that was cherry. And I thought that the cherry actually was too strong, so I preferred the parts where it was only vanilla. But I thought it was good, and it was big, so you can definitely give some to somebody else.
Yeah,
for sure. You could probably share it with 3 people if you wanted to.
Yeah, but like I said, I would recommend it as a quick service place. I think it's one of the better quick service restaurants.
Saying what I said about it, I would still go back there, because I think out of the other quick service places we went, that was still my favorite meal.
Yeah, it's weird because at Disneyland, I feel like the sit down restaurants are more casual. I feel like they're not rushing you through there like you are at Walt Disney World. It's a more relaxed environment. And I feel like, and maybe this is just because we were trying a lot of different places, but I feel like at Walt Disney World, especially like Magic Kingdom, all the quick service places all serve the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And there's not really any difference between them. Whereas I feel like every place we ate at had a completely different menu.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't 2 places that had the exact same menu, which is kind of crazy to me. And so I feel like, is that Disneyland? Is that how they are? Or is it just kind of me misremembering how the parks are, you know?
Yeah. I will say that Disneyland severely lacks one thing, and that one thing is Sully Canteen. Because Sully Canteen...
I'll say 2 things. They also lack Dole Whip swirls. You
Oh,
can't get
yeah.
the Dole Whip vanilla swirl.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with
But
that.
Sully Canteen,
Sully Canteen is hands down the best quick service restaurant in any of the parks. I will fight somebody over that. It is just so customizable, and you can get like really delicious tofu there, like or like you could just soba noodles,
But see,
rice. I love it. And
I think it stands out though, because at Walt Disney World, most of the quick service is all so much the same. No, it is a great place to eat. But what I'm saying is, like, I think especially at Walt Disney World, it stands out as like,
well, it's very different.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Whereas at like Disneyland, everything is so different. Not that it wouldn't stand out, not that it wouldn't be good, but there's a lot of variety. I mean, they have the whole new San Francisco area has like a real variety of food, kind of like that. Like Sully Canteen, you know, it's like Asian inspired and things, like where it's a different like palette that you can get there that, again, Walt Disney World doesn't have that. I think that's why Sully Canteen sticks out so much. Whereas like Disneyland has a lot of that variety already.
So the thing that I think that Disneyland sort of has over Disney World is Disney World is very commercialized, whereas Disneyland feels more like a hometown sort of park.
Oh yeah. 100%.
So I feel like, you know, they have that things are so different because they're just catering to a crowd with a diverse palette, and Disney World is catering to, hey, there's a whole bunch of families that are going to come here and bring their kids here. Let's just have chicken fingers, and let's make sure everyone has hamburgers and maybe some pizza. Let's make sure we have pretzels all over the park. You could not find a pretzel to save your life.
Yeah, I could not find a Mickey pretzel at all.
Yeah.
And I just realized
I think that they have them. It's just
I
hard
only
to
had
find.
one Mickey bar. When I got home, I was like, I only had one Mickey bar that whole time.
And they have the superior
Mickey
Mickey
bars.
bars.
Mickey bars,
because they're on dry ice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I think that Disneyland definitely does have that over Disney World.
The food, yeah.
But yeah, Sully Canteen though can't be replaced.
All right. So riding off the high of Jolly Holiday, we start heading down. Now this isn't the one out of 10.
Yeah.
But we ate at Wine Country Trattoria. This is over at Disney California Adventure. I will say, I think our issue was the service. So it wasn't that the food was not good. It's just the service was not good.
Yeah, I was going to say, my vegetable lasagna
yeah, you liked yours.
Was a 9 out of 10, I'd say, because it is very difficult to find lasagna that's not, like with a bunch of meat in it. I don't like that. So
here's the interesting thing about it though. So it was $22, just to let everybody know, but it's vegetable lasagna, but it comes with meat sauce.
Yeah, it comes with bolognese sauce, which
seems odd.
Silly. But yeah, it has mushrooms, eggplants, bell pepper, and then both me and Keifer got it. And the interesting thing is, I loved mine. Mine was very, like really well done. He liked his too, but his was cold.
Yeah.
So we both got the same thing, but his was not, warm, and mine was.
Yeah. So that was one of the issues.
But we both finished it. Like we both enjoyed it, but it was the service.
Right. So that was one of the issues with the services. His came out cold. So yeah, he was at a 4 out of 10. Again, just because like overall service and his food was cold. Jennifer and I both got the spaghetti
aglio olio.
Yeah, I was just saying, I'm not even going to try to say that.
Yeah, I think it's aglio olio.
So that was $20, and it comes with vegetables, so it's broccoli and tomatoes, and there's like a garlic lemon sauce on it. Now, it's plant-based. I added chicken to mine to put chicken on it, but this was one of the other things where it got confusing, and I don't know if it was just like a mix-up or what. Because like our server,
it was like, because I feel like it was because Keifer and I ordered the same exact thing.
Yeah.
And I almost wonder if because you guys got the same thing, he just got his wires crossed and assumed that she also wanted the chicken.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure, like, didn't she ask something about it being vegetarian too?
Yeah, she asked about
vegan,
being, plant-based or vegan. And I will say, I mean, even overall, like, I just feel like the service,
he didn't seem like he was fully paying attention.
Yeah, to us, and just came around. And so hers came out with chicken in it, which obviously being vegan, you don't want chicken.
Yeah.
So had to send that back to get a new one. So she did get a new one. Again, that took some time.
I mean,
Keifer's was cold.
I think Keifer and I might have been done with ours by the time she got hers. I mean, it didn't take 5 minutes. They had to completely make hers from scratch.
Right, exactly. So that was kind of the big issue with it. I also feel like this is a sit-down restaurant. It's an Italian restaurant. It's trying to be a little bit more upscale. I feel like it needed like a bread service or something. Like when you go to La Cellier and you sit down, they have bread service.
Yeah.
Like now they do sell at Wine Country. They do have I think it's like a cheesy like pull apart garlic bread or something like that as like an appetizer. We did not get that. So I get, they want people to buy that, but I feel like they could have had like some bread and oil or something. Like it needed something. Cause again, we were waiting for the service. We were waiting for our food. You're kind of just sitting there and it feels like you should have something to kind of eat.
Right.
So I think
and
that
they
did a little bit for me too.
They did make good on I think her meal was comped.
Yeah.
So I mean, it wasn't like there was no recourse for what happened, but still, I mean, I don't know, like it bugs me that like they made it with the chicken. I worry that like they threw that away and then it's like, okay, well, then that chicken goes to waste. It's just it's frustrating because it's like, okay, just pay attention. And that happens sometimes. Like when I ate, I was strictly vegetarian. Sometimes my food would come with meat and I'm like, I would eat it because I'm like, well, the point of me being a vegetarian is to not eat meat. And then whenever you put it on my plate, if I send it back, you're just going to throw it away. So I'm just going to eat it. But I don't know. It's just, that's kind of frustrating that he didn't listen and then that probably went to waste.
Yeah. I mean, I think overall, my spaghetti, it was decent. It wasn't anything great. I kind of liked at DCA last time we were there, we ate at the Lamplight Lounge.
Yeah,
I felt like sitting on the water there, like the food was better, the vibe was better.
The ambiance was really great.
So like,
I would definitely go back there next time.
So to kind of comparing the two, Wine Country is lower for me. So I
we
had
got the mimosa flight there too, didn't we?
Well,
that was fun.
Yeah. So I had it at a 6 overall. So definitely this was not one of the better ones. You really liked your food, but to me, it's not something I feel like I would need to go back to.
Yeah. And speaking of mimosas, now we get to the creme de la creme of our dining experience.
Yeah, this was the best dining experience I've ever had at a Disney park. And This was the Napa Rose Princess Adventures breakfast. And interestingly enough, we had Ben, a listener over on Instagram, ask us a while ago if we could do a review of this.
Oh, Ben, we got you.
Yeah. So we finally got to Disneyland and did this. I will say this is $135 a person.
Very expensive. But you feel like you get your money's worth.
It's also $135 per child, which I feel like is not worth it in any way, shape, or form to pay $135 for a kid.
I feel like I got as much out of it. More, well, obviously, I'm an adult, so I eat more, but as much out of it as a child would have.
Yeah, I feel like as an adult, it makes more sense because you can eat more food. You do get a free glass of champagne or a mimosa, your first one. So, like, again, a kid's not going to get that. So usually like these character breakfasts. So this is a character breakfast. You meet all the princesses. Usually it's like a little bit cheaper for kids than it is adults. It's weird that this is the exact same price because, again, I feel like it's a lot to pay for a kid.
It's not like as an adult we were locked out of any of the stuff that the kids could do. Like so one of the like events of the meal is Rapunzel reads a story to the kids. We were told, that it was going down.
Told us, yeah,
they came and told us. I went and sat on the floor with the kids because I was like, I want to feel like a kid. And it was so cute, by the way, because she reads the story, but there's not very much of a story.
Well, it's her story. It's basically
her story,
tangled, very brief version.
It is like, maybe half a page version of her story, but it is hilarious. Her interaction with the children, like just so well done because the kids just pop out with the craziest things. I mean, being a teacher, I'm used to this. And when you deal with little kids, if you have kids at home, the things that they say, like you might say, hey, where would you like to travel? And then a kid's like, Bluey's from Australia. Like this actually happened. It was so cute and hilarious just to see the different ways they went. The one kid said it was her birthday or her birthday was like in a month. So I mean,
it was cool interactions. So,
it was just like a very typical, but it was cute.
So let's kind of just start from the beginning. So you go in. This is at the Disney Grand California. This is at the hotel. This is in Napa Rose. So you go for breakfast. When you first walk in, Rapunzel is there. So you get your chance to meet Rapunzel.
And if somebody else is interacting, there's a table and you can play tic-tac-toe on the table.
So you're kind of like in the lobby, like waiting. You get to meet Rapunzel, and then they take you to your table.
And cast member there was amazing. I wish I remembered his name, but he was awesome.
And then they take you to your table, and they give you kind of like a quick rundown, but essentially it's 3 courses, and we'll kind of get into the food and the different courses, but it's a 3-course meal. But then there are princesses there, and they tell you you can kind of go out in between your courses to go meet the princesses.
And they told us roughly how long they would be.
Yeah, and
it
they
was
rotate.
Really well timed out.
Yeah. So they have 3 princesses out there. So they had we saw Jasmine, Pocahontas,
and
Aurora, Tiana.
And,
they had Ariel and they had Belle. And they're kind of like out on the patio, and then one of them is inside. So there's like 3 out at a time, and then they kind of rotate every like 15 or 20 minutes. And then one of them's inside, and there's a PhotoPass photographer there.
Yeah.
And your photo is included. So you get 2 princesses. So we had Ariel and Belle with a PhotoPass photographer taking pictures, and those are included as well. So you don't need to like buy the photos extra. So again, it's a lot of money, but you do get some photos. You do get the free mimosa.
It was Belle in her blue costume. Not the yellow dress. Because it's so funny. Like when we've been talking about this, I'm like, Belle was there, and then I keep thinking like, oh no, it's like her in her like provincial town outfit, not her in her gown.
And then Raya was just walking around the tables.
Raya was so cool.
Just to talk to you. So.
And I love the difference in her personality from the other ones because, Raya is, you know, her whole situation in the movie is like she's more in like a, I don't know, like post-apocalyptic sort of situation.
Yes.
So she had more of an attitude when she posed for photos. Like she wasn't like really like she smiled for like maybe a couple of them, but she had like that attitude pose, which I loved. But it was really cool to get to see her and meet her, because I know that she does go around the parks, but I don't think we'd ever seen her before. Right. So it was cool to have an interaction with her.
Yeah. And then one thing that I found really interesting, and our friends were the ones that made the reservation. So I had to ask them, I was like, when you made the reservation, like, was it full? Like, was it hard to get a reservation? And they were like, oh yeah, like we had an alert up to do the reservation. Something became available and we got it, because it was very empty, sparsely packed. Yeah. And going to see all the princesses, we walked up, there was maybe one or two other people. Like we had a chat with them. It wasn't like you felt rushed,
we weren't rushed
in any way, that there was a line of people behind you that you have to get through. Whereas I feel like some of the character meals, you know, even we were walking past another character meal where it was Mickey and Minnie and Chip and Dale, and they're coming around all the tables to try to like see everybody, and they're trying to move through quick. You go to the princesses, there weren't many people there. I have to imagine that restaurant was a quarter full, if that. And so I was wondering, is this just something not a lot of people go to?
Or is it the price difference potentially?
Well, yeah, but it seems like it was sold out though. So maybe some people either didn't show up last minute, maybe they canceled last minute, or Disney purposely keeps this low so the price is high. They don't have a lot of tables in there so that you have a great experience. Because if you are paying $135,
you don't want it to be top notch.
You don't want to be fighting a lot of people. And it was top notch. It was.
Yeah, I only had to fight one person, so that was good.
Yeah. The funny thing was every time we got up and came back to the table, like all our silverware, like everything was reset.
Oh, that was kind of like, it was like
it was like being at like Beast Castle.
Yeah,
like be our guest.
Yeah, like our napkin was alive, and every time we walked away, it would refold itself, or like their coffee cups like kept changing.
Yeah, as soon as we sat down, I mean, the napkin was a rose in the cup. Mm-hmm. Like it was great. So overall, I mean, the service was top notch. Like you said, the cast members were great. The service was top notch. It was a very like intimate setting, very relaxed. I think we were there like 2 hours. I mean, it's a very just relaxed meal. You get to see the princesses. Again, you have 3 courses. It was a blast.
Yeah. And so kind of like to just go through the food part.
Right.
We started off, they handed us a menu, and I wanted to try one of the drinks.
Yep.
So I can't remember which one of these I ordered. I think you listed
You got the Lost Wand and Forgotten Magic Words.
Oh, okay. So that was the full name. I thought it was 2 different drinks.
No, that's what it's called. It was $17.
Yeah, it was expensive.
You said it was great.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I think I ordered 2 drinks while I was not there, but like 2 drinks whenever we were just like in the parks. There was another one that I ordered. This one I thought was really tasty though. Like it was like a rummy drink of some sort. It had like a sweet, like fruity taste. I really enjoyed it. So that was good. And then let's kind of talk about the courses.
Yeah. So the first course is the starters. So
it was like the bread course, I'd say. Like kind of.
They bring it out. It's a tower of food. Again, all presentation, all great.
Oh my goodness.
It was Chef Louis' lobster roll, Tiana's beignets, and this is all themed around like the princesses.
Yeah.
Which I thought was weird that it's Chef Louis, because I didn't think he was like, he's kind of like a villain somewhat in Ariel, and the rest of them are all named around
Ariel.
In The Little Mermaid. And all of them are named around like the other princesses. But I guess like if Ariel's like cooking lobster, that might not be a good look.
They could have just said, Sebastian's lobster
Yeah,
rolls.
but you don't want Sebastian cooking lobster. So that's why they make Chef Louis the bad guy.
Or being the role himself.
They make Chef Louis the bad guy, yeah. So you have Tiana's beignets, Jasmine's banana wrap, and Pocahontas's cornbread. So that was the starters.
Yeah.
All of it was great.
Oh, wait. I think we're missing the gray stuff. We had the gray stuff.
Oh, that's right. The
it
gray
was
stuff was
delicious.
There. Yeah. Yep.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't like the gray stuff.
I thought it was good.
I've never enjoyed it. Like, we've got it over in Disney World. And then over at, I think it was Gaston's.
Yeah.
And then we had it here.
But I thought the beignets
were the star of the show, I thought.
Because we've had beignets in the parks before, like the Mickey beignets, and have not been that impressed with them. But these beignets were delicious.
Yeah, I kind of like, there were a couple things in this particular course that I would have gotten more of. I'm sure if you probably asked, they would have given them to you. That would have been one. And then there's also was a little like bread basket that came with this.
Right, yeah.
And there was something, I don't know exactly what they were. They said what they were, but there was one that was like a strawberry something. There was a twist that was like a cinnamon twist. That was my favorite. It was like very flaky. And there was one other thing that I can't quite. Oh, it was a scone. There was a scone too. And also at our table, because our friend is vegan, she had her own versions of all of this stuff as well.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a really good job of, as they brought it, of like, this is the plant-based one, this isn't, because some of the stuff was it was similar, just made with different ingredients. The second course, kind of like the entree, it's a buffet, you can go up, it's all you can eat, but they had some like really great stuff up there. So they had Colors of the Wind waffle, Mickey waffles,
so it was like
which were
waffles with Fruity Pebbles in them. They were okay.
They were cute. But they had short rib there, they had truffle mac and cheese, they also had a lot of like fruit,
they
just
had
regular Mickey
waffles.
Yeah, chicken and waffles.
And the chicken with those waffles was amazing. It was really tasty.
Yeah. They had bacon, I think turkey sausage, so a lot of options there, eggs, all sorts of stuff. They also brought you out these like steak fries like a basket full of steak fries for the table.
You loved those.
Delicious. Those were great. I loved them. I thought they were great. And then for dessert, they had Ariel's Dingle Hopper Vanilla Cake Pops, which had a little tiny fork in it, which was really cute.
It was cute. That one was one that was like none of us at the table. They had a different version of it, but none of us really were a big fan of that one.
I was to say, I think for me, the desserts were
the low point of the meal.
Low point. Yeah, I really wasn't over the moon about like any of the desserts.
I liked Tiana's pistachio macarons.
Yeah, and they were like
good.
Frogs.
Yeah, they were little frogs. They were really good. And
they also had Aurora's chocolate cream puffs. So,
and I'm just not a cream puff person, really. So it was okay, but
yeah, I mean the desserts were good, but like at that point too, you had eaten so much other food, like you really didn't care.
I thought that I actually enjoyed the bread. Like the bread basket that came with the first course as the dessert better than I enjoyed the dessert itself.
Yeah.
Because I think those were all really tasty, delicious pastries.
One last thing I want to say about this. So overall, highly recommend. We all gave it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, we loved it.
Said it was all phenomenal. One other thing that like stuck out to me, the interactions with the princesses, is they all mentioned, are you going to what are you guys doing today? Oh, we're going to the theme parks. Oh, what are you riding? What are you going to do? We're like Haunted Mansion. Oh, that's fun.
Oh, wait, then they said, I think Rapunzel said Mother Gothel really likes that ride. I find it a little scary or something.
So like they were all referencing the theme parks, referencing Disneyland, and I was like,
they referenced the other princesses.
Right. I was like, I've never heard the Disney characters, the princesses, like acknowledge they're in a theme park, acknowledge like the real world around them. And it was kind of like jarring at first, but they were all doing it. I was like, this is cool. Like you were it reminded me somewhat of being on the Star Cruiser, where it felt like I'm not at a photo op with a princess. This is like a
reality.
This is reality. This is just a normal character. This is a person. They happen to be Ariel or Belle or Tiana. You know, like they happen to be these people.
And they're asking me about my day.
Right. But they are in this world. It's not like they're from, you know,
a galaxy far, far away.
Exactly. Right. Or they're not, you know, from some enchanted library. Like they're in this world. Disneyland exists. So that was a really like interesting experience.
They weren't from under the sea.
No. Yeah. Right. Yeah. It was just a cool thing that like kind of like I noticed. But it was really interesting how they did that.
It was pretty interesting.
So moving on to the Palm Breeze Bar, and this is at the new tower at the Disneyland Hotel. So this is the new bar there. And this is another one where like the vibe elevated it. Like it's kind of, it's outdoors, it was cold, but they had a heater.
Yeah. So we were like, the positioning of it is like the building is sort of over top.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. You're outdoors, but you're like under the building.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting thing.
And
you're right by the pool.
Was off to the side. And then I don't remember what was on the right side, but like the way that I was at least oriented, but I think it was because we were under the building. Like it was so cold because I think the wind was sort of whipping through there. Nice thing is that they had a heater that they were able, first of all, they gave us blankets, which you want to win me over. Give me a cozy blanket.
Yeah.
And so that was really nice. And then we eventually got the heater pulled over to us too, which felt good. But the blanket was a game changer.
Yeah, and I will say this place, it's new because the new tower, this is the new DVC tower, it just opened. Not a lot of people know about this, so like right now it's kind of a bit of a quiet spot.
We walked up and were seated within
a couple minutes.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a little bit of a hidden gem right now. I feel like once summer comes and once people start saying that, like people are really going to start going there. It's going to be harder to get into. So if you want to be cool, if you want to be a trendsetter like us, go hang out.
And we didn't have any inside information on this. Nobody suggests this. We just knew.
We knew this was going to be awesome.
Yeah, we knew.
So go.
It wasn't like our friends told us.
Next time you're at Disneyland, be like, guys, take your friends. We got to go to the Palm Breeze bar.
Yeah.
This is hot new spot at Disneyland. You're going to love it. And then you can tell everybody about it. And then when it blows up in a year, you're going to be like, I was on the cutting edge of that.
Yeah. But I have to talk real quick about this place because I really, really enjoyed my drink there.
Really enjoyed it. You took a sip and immediately went 40 out of 10. That's literally what you did. You said 40. This is a 40 out of 10.
Yes.
You broke the rating scale on
this. So I got the 55-50, which is coconut rum, frozen coconut puree, peach juice, and mint. To me, it tasted like a very, very good pina colada. Like I'm a big fan of a pina colada. I really like fruity. I don't like coconut. I like coconut flavor, but I don't like if I eat a cookie with coconut in it, I don't like the texture, but I like the flavor of it. And this was a very, very good one. So if you're a person who's like had a pina colada and you're like, I like this, that is your order if you like fruity and coconut flavor.
Yeah, and that was $16.
Yeah.
And then so that was really good. I think, in terms of the food, everybody gave it like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. I went 8 out of 10. But what we had, I had the burger, just kind of plain burger. I thought it was a solid burger, juicy, good fries. Again, with the vibes, just the whole atmosphere of it had me 8 out of 10. I was the only one that liked the fries. Everybody else's comments were it would have been higher if it wasn't for the fries. And everybody was kind of going around. I was like, I actually thought the fries were good. So depending on what you think of the fries is going to kind of color your results here. But the burger was $26. Also had the garden pizza, which was $24. Ahi tuna tataki, which was $29. And then a spicy crispy chicken sandwich, which was $23.
And don't forget the avocado and lime hummus dip, because that for me was my favorite part. So our friends ordered that as like an appetizer. I thought that the dip was really good. It came with some crisp veggies and also the pita chips. And I'm not usually a pita chip person, but the pita chips with that had such a good flavor to them. They were really crispy and really fresh. And that was delicious. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, I was saying you weren't as big a fan of the pizza.
The pizza was good. I just could, and I know that like my friend really liked it. Like we all kind of shared some food. So I had some of the tuna. I thought the tuna was really good. I'm not a big fish person per se. Like I like salmon. But that was kind of nice to get a chance to try the tuna because it kind of reminded me that I do like that. But yeah, my pizza was good. It was kind of hard to eat, and I could tell it was vegan. Because like the cheese was a little bit on the slimy side.
Okay.
And like it was just really floppy.
Yeah,
like it was just kind of for me it was a little bit of a texture thing, and then like the flavor profile wasn't exactly where I like it. It wasn't because it was vegan, it was just because just like the flavors weren't really my kind of flavors.
Yeah, and Jennifer and Keifer, they also got an order of the fries. So that's how everybody had the fries. So again, Keifer said 7 out of 10, 8 if not for the fries. Jennifer was the same thing. And then their friend Danny was there. She was the one that got the crispy chicken sandwich. She liked it. She liked that the chicken wasn't too thick, so that there was like a good like bread to chicken ratio. And like it was a good, nice like bread and butter pickles. She rated it a 6 out of 10. Again, said it would have been a 7 or an 8 if not for the fries.
Good.
We were going around. I was like, I asked everybody else, like, okay, what did you think? Give me your review. And everybody's like, 6. It would have been 7 if not for the fries. 7, maybe 8 if not for the fries.
Yeah, the fries weren't good. I don't know
then
why.
It comes to me, and I was like, I actually kind of like the fries, guys. But maybe I was wrong. So I like the fries. I thought with the vibes, the food, everything, it was a fun time. They have a lot of TVs there, so like there was a football game going on. Not that like we wanted to watch the football game, but I could see that being a cool place. Like if there's some event going on, and like your kids want to go swimming, you want to have something to eat. Like it's gonna be a great place this summer. So that's why I said 8. So I mean, I think it was one of my favorite places I think we ate at. There wasn't Napa Rose that like as in terms of a sit down restaurant during this trip.
By the way, I predicted it. At this point of the show, I am now hungry.
You're hungry? Yep.
So I'm going to need a snack after this.
All right. So we had a couple like just great experiences. We had, the new restaurant at the Disneyland Hotel. The vibes were great. It was cold, but it was still a lot of fun. We had Napa Rose, which was just...
Hey, the cold never bothered me anyway.
Exactly. It was just, but Napa is just top notch in all levels of service and food. And now we are going, this is it. This is the 1 out of 10. Harbour Gallery. So I did not eat at Harbour Gallery. This is when I went back to Jolly Holiday and I got a grilled cheese sandwich.
Good call there.
And I think this was a great call. You all wanted to go there because there was a vegetable stew. It is $12.50. It's served in a sourdough bowl.
Yeah, so I was really excited about this because
everybody's excited about this.
Like, you know, now that I like do eat meat again, like I still do like to stick mostly like eating a lot of vegetarian stuff.
Yeah, you stay pretty vegetarian.
Yeah, like but then every now and again because my body just does not like not eating meat, then I'll have some meat. But like I was really excited about this because I really liked a good soup. I like a lot of vegetables, and I feel like sometimes whenever you go on vacation, you kind of steer clear of those healthier foods, and I want to make sure that like my body is getting that stuff. So you know, I asked sort of like, hey, where could we eat that might have some really good vegetarian stuff? And our friends were like, oh, well, there's this. Like, we've never had it before. But
they wanted to try it.
Yeah, they wanted to try it. And I was like, yeah, let's go
there. Yeah.
So we go there. We get the soup. It comes in.
It's a stew.
It's a stew.
It's a stew, and it's supposed to be in a sourdough bowl.
Yes. Well, I mean, it was very, very much in a sourdough bowl.
But that's what I came back and you guys were done, and I was like, how was it? And you guys were all like, 1 out of 10, avoid this place.
Yeah.
You said it was like 2 spoonfuls of stew.
So normally when you get a cup, and if you're watching this online, you'll be able to see
Panera. You're thinking like a Panera bread bowl, right?
No, yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna use my water bottle as reference. So those of you listening, it is like when I say a cup, it is not very much. But on here, I'll show you like this is probably how much stew there was. So it was probably like a couple inches worth of stew in a very small, like in a regular size
It was
cup.
mostly bread.
It was almost entirely bread. And the other part that we really all kind of dinged it for was it was spicy. And I don't think it was
secretly spicy. That's what you guys said. Yeah.
I don't know that it even said it was spicy, did it?
Well, that's what you guys said. It was secretly spicy. There was no mention of it, but it had a kick to it.
And
there wasn't much stew to begin with. And it had a high kick to it.
It was so again, like I like spice. But it was to the point where I was starting, like my nose was starting to run, and it was to the point where I was like, okay, this is sort of
my face would have melted off.
This was like, it was a spice level that was to the point where I was like, this is starting to interfere with my enjoyment of what there is here because it's just a little bit too much.
If that was hitting you that much, my face would have melted off.
Right, and exactly, you know, I'm sure that there are tons of people that would be like, oh, this wasn't spicy at all, but and like,
you can handle a lot of spice, but if your like nose was running, it had to be pretty spicy.
Yeah, it was pretty spicy. And again, like our friend doesn't like spice, and then she takes like, I think she ended up eating like 2 or 3 spoonfuls and was like, I can't.
Yeah.
And then she ended up eating a lot of the bowl, and then her husband, like luckily they only ordered one because he wasn't hungry, because that was, I think, the same day we ate at Napa. I feel like I can't
remember. It all blends together.
We had eaten, I feel like, a good bit that day, and so I think Jennifer and I were kind of like, you know what, maybe we should just like eat something, because I think if we don't eat at this point, we're gonna be hungry. And he was kind of like, no, I'm good. And it was good. It was a good thing because she ended up basically giving him most of what that she ate, but it wasn't very good. Now I will say the one thing that is redemptive quality of this place was there was a really cool show.
That's what I was gonna say. The one saving grace of this is that it is right on, like right by where you get to like Tom Sawyer Island and like the canoe. So you're kind of right on the water there where like the stage where they do Fantasmic is. But so we were there at night, and they have like a little jazz band come out on the water.
And you missed this. There was a show before that because you were over at Jolly Holiday. There was a show on water screens that was all about a frog. It was really cute. We couldn't fully see everything because we were in the back set of tables. There was like a front set of tables. There were none available at the time, and then a back set of tables. And so we kind of could see that. And what was really nice was there was a cast member there cleaning tables, and she was really sweet. Like one of the group that was by the water got up when the jazz band was out. And so she rushed over there and cleaned off the table. And I wish I remembered her name, but she immediately like rushed over to our table and was like, they're going to drive past here. Like, you guys should move over there. So it was really sweet. Again, like, you know, that was a special like cast member interaction because she went above and beyond to try to like make our experience better.
Yeah, it was a good experience.
Yeah,
she heard us talking about how terrible the food was. It's like, I got to turn this around.
No, I think that she was just purely doing it to be sweet. She like complimented Jennifer on a couple things, and like it was just cute. So so that was definitely a plus, but the food, 1 out of 10, would not recommend. Do not get that unless, and again, it would have also been good if I felt like the sourdough was good. The bread itself I thought was pretty bland. It wasn't like, it didn't have that like strong, good like sourdough taste. It was just bread to me, like nothing special.
All right, so a couple other places here. You ate at Clarabelle's Ice Cream.
My review was tastes like ice cream.
Exactly.
It was Dreyer's, which is Edie's, I believe, over on the East Coast, ice cream, and it just tasted like something.
You had vanilla. You said tastes like ice cream.
Yeah, it wasn't like a good vanilla.
Jennifer had the dairy-free banana split, gave it a 7 out of 10, said it was good. Yeah. I also ate at Flo's V8. I got the Ramones Low and Slow Club, which is $13. Turkey club with fries. I will say this. I always like Flo's. I always thought it's a solid, quick service place to go to. It's a great place in DCA if you're going to something quick. I think they have a good like steak fry there. Always thought it was good. Then I ate at Jolly Holiday, and so I ate at Flo's after that. I was like, this isn't as good. Like it's not as good as that roast beef sandwich I had over at Jolly Holiday with, again, that fresh bread. So it kind of knocked Flo's down for me. So I only gave it a 5 out of 10. I think the bread is like, it's not that good. I don't want to say it's soggy because it wasn't soggy, but like it just wasn't fresh. It doesn't have like a good snap to it. It's not like a toasted bread, I feel like.
I think that it almost sounds to me like your bread experience was similar to our bread experience with the bread bowls.
Yeah.
Or at least mine. I feel like they liked the bread. I did not like it.
Yeah. So I still think Flo's is a solid choice if you're over at DCA. But I do kind of feel like now if I'm at Disneyland and I'm like, oh, I'm kind of hungry, it's not that hard to walk over to Disneyland and get something to eat, that I probably would prefer to go over to Jolly Holidays now. And then you also tried the new Aunt Cass's Cafe.
I got the soba noodle salad, which was $14. It was tofu, cabbage, edamame, carrots, roasted corn, scallions, and cilantro topped with crispy shallots and sesame ginger dressing. It was very, I don't know, I would say fermented tasting. Like the ginger I felt like was very strong. It wasn't like if you sometimes go to like a hibachi restaurant and the ginger like has a really good taste to it. I rated it a 5 out of 10. It was something that was fine. Like I ate it, but it wasn't something that I would necessarily go out of my way to order again. And if I remember, I probably won't order it again.
Right.
But I could see me being there being like, oh, I want something with, because basically the reason why I ended up eating there was I said to Jennifer, like, I actually really would like to eat something with tofu here. And that was the only option, was to get that. So like that was the point where I actually said I miss Sully Canteen because they have really good tofu.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, like some of these, especially with like the quick service, where sometimes it is a little bit of just like convenience. Like I want a specific thing, this is the only place to go to. And same with like I said, Flo's. Like I think it's still a solid option. Like if you're in DCA and you're really hungry, it's not usually a really long wait. It's pretty easy to mobile order at. It's still a solid option. I mean, it's better than just like a chicken finger or something, like, which they have those there, but, or, like you said, like it's maybe not something you'd order, but like if you were there and you were hungry, it's a solid option,
Yeah.
But I do feel like there's better quick service options, or even like table service options. Like if you can get into Lamplight Lounge at DCA, I think that's probably your best option over there. Jolly Holiday is great. Stay away from Harbour Gallery, but like
you can take your food to eat over there though. Because that was a good place to eat over there.
Oh right, yeah, because you got a great view of the river and everything like that.
Just make sure you have like a heavier jacket if it's cold outside.
If it's cold,
because there's a little bit of a breeze coming off of the water. Like when we moved, even over that one table, I was kind of like, ooh, it's a little chillier right here. Or maybe it was just in my mind, but yeah.
But so overall, I think we had really great meals. I mean, again, ate a wide variety of places, quick service, sit down restaurants. Did not eat the same thing twice, like the whole time I was there.
Yeah, and
like,
I mean,
it was a great experience.
And so Jennifer and Keifer did a really excellent job too of just like making sure we were eating at different places. They were the ones that encouraged us to eat over at the new hotel, like the new
the Palm Breeze Bar.
Yeah, because
I mean, they booked a lot of the reservations.
Yeah,
and
we
stuff,
had originally we were gonna go eat at the Grand, but we'd eaten there before, so they were like, "Hey, do you want to try this new place?" So
and they had been there before. Yeah, and they were.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
we're not the trendsetters. They are.
Yeah,
they
are the trendsetters. They
yeah.
are the ones. They
yeah.
are the secret that I alluded to that we didn't find it. But anyway, they did a great job. When I said I wanted tofu, Jennifer was the one that jumped on her phone and found that place. So yeah, thanks to them because they showed us a really good time.
Yeah, 100%. So hopefully this was helpful to like all of our listeners of some new options that maybe you didn't know of at Disneyland to eat at, maybe some options you now know to avoid. Maybe you're like, wow, that princess breakfast sounded really good. Book it. Highly recommend it. So again, just giving people options because it's sometimes hard to try a variety of different things, but I feel like we tried a wide variety of food. So hopefully you kind of get a good like flavor for what's out there. Or
when you see a price tag like $135 at Napa Rose, you're like, should I spend that money?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right, but that wraps up the show this week. I want to thank everybody again for listening. If you've not done so, please leave us a rating or a review. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast. It really helps, and we really appreciate it.
Thanks for lending us your ears.
Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you here next Monday.
Bye-bye.